situation. My mom's apartment. So, she went to go to the dentist and stuff. I had my third ketamine treatment today. Um, it was rather profound and um, unexpected. But a lot of things with this have been very unexpected. Um, I was going in to hope to solve a couple problems, and it turns out I solved all of them that I have. I'm Everything I have to do in this world is done. I don't have to do anything else. Anything else now I have to do is just what I want to do. It's a very freeing feeling because I've been wondering what my purpose was here. And as far as I know, I'm done. It's a fucking great feeling. I mean, it's just a feeling. I'm done. There's nothing left for me to think about or to figure out or any of that shit. It's fucking great. Um, it's like a weight off my fucking shoulders now. And that was just time, really. Honestly, that right there was just time. Um, I will say that it did get sped up there at the end. Um, these last three treatments have sped things up considerably, my processing capabilities. Because as long as there's any judgment on your thought, you can't get to the reality of who you are. Even if it's the external judgment of societal norms and whatever, as long as there's any of that, you're not being you. You are being what's the most you that's acceptable to the world. Fuck, it's breaking my heart, man. It's making too much sense. And that's the way those things go. Is because the first trip was I mean, it was a huge explosion of stuff. I heard and learned and wrote and felt so much in the first one. The second one wasn't nearly as ground shattering, which is fine. You know, I mean, it wasn't a brand new experience. I didn't really do all the stuff correctly. I didn't clean my. I have very stuffy sinuses, and it goes right in the nose. So any that gets clogged up in mucus doesn't get ingested. Any that gets shot down the back of the throat does not get ingested. It's processed by the liver, but it doesn't have the same effect. Probably why I have sedation later on. To bypass the liver and its lingering effects. You want to spray against the nose, but you want to have a clear nostril, which I don't have. So last night I used the neti pot like they did the first time, and then I had a Vicks Vapo stick, and I used that. I asked her if it was okay, and she said yeah. So I hit it before doing the ketamine, so that way it would open up my passages as much as possible. And I breathe in and just go right in there, because as you can hear, it's not very. If I had my nasal meds, my Flonase, and neti pot, I have an antihistamine because there's just a lot of allergies up here. The only place I don't have allergies is out in California. Well, actually, anywhere west of Albuquerque. As soon as I get west of Albuquerque, New Mexico, as soon as I go east of Albuquerque, New Mexico, it sucks. We got to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I've been stuffed up the whole ride from Louisiana to there, and I got out of the car and I was like, and just everything just cleared out. And I'm like normal people breathe, you know. I hadn't done that in since I was 7. I was like 14, 15. I was freaking out, and the whole way out in California, just clear air. I'm like, oh, this is the fucking shit, dude. This is the fucking shit. And then, yeah, It just kind of fucking, we come back from the way and we're heading back. And as soon as we hit Albuquerque, we pass Albuquerque and just, and my nose was just back stuffed up again. I don't know. So my blood pressure's been a little bit high, but the next, it raises your blood pressure, so she's been a little bit worried, and she's been putting on blood pressure medication, but I'm always at like 140 over 90, which is right at threshold, but I'm often like 138 over 80 something, but then I smoke pot, and that brings it up a little bit. So, I've been staying over at my mom's the days I go for treatment, because she drives me there and back, because you're not supposed to, you gotta have a ride. I'm still lippy. If I close my eyes for too long, I'll pass out. But yeah, it was only 9 o'clock this morning that I did it. It was over probably about like 10 something or other. By 11 o'clock, I was good to walk out. I'd like actually just walk out the door. I did, like all the times. There are times I go in. I'm gonna try and get my nasal passages as clear as possible. I'll probably use my Flonase and stuff like that, and keep my sinuses cleared out today, tomorrow, and that way so I can get as much in there for Wednesday. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm gonna just keep on that shit and just keep it like as clear as possible. So when I go on Monday, pop, pop, you know what I mean? Because that shit will take you out. But I never go full on gone, which is I don't want to go on full on gone. But this time around, on the third dose, I was like, I could probably stand one more. I could probably tolerate one more. I don't know if she'd do that. If I go back in my blood Wednesday, my blood pressure's good. If it's good, no, I don't leave. I'm like, what about Monday? Try one extra. I want somebody. You keep an eye on me as long as my blood pressure when I come in is like, when the target you wanted to see. What would be the harm of one more? You see me. I mean, I journal. I stand up. I walk to the bathroom. Most people are out of it. They can't walk right. They can't do whatever. I'm like with them my first time. I was walking. I walked to the bathroom. I had a little dissociation. My left eye was seeing out of the right eye. That's why she was standing there right here, but it looked like she was standing in the corner, and I could only see one. You know what I mean? It's like I couldn't process why I could only see one of her. Does that make sense? I can only see one of you. Why do I only see one of you? I couldn't make sense of it, and she was over in the corner. So my left eye, where she should have been, just wasn't even processing. It was this eye was like processing that where I could see her. That's where I could see her, and this I couldn't see. No, this I could see her over there. This I couldn't see. Was seeing what's over here and couldn't see shit except for the wall. It's almost like cross-eyed, but reverse. You know what I'm saying? Reverse cross-eyed. Does that make any sense at all? Just swap your eyeballs. Take these eyeballs and flip them over, and that's kind of like, I think that's how you actually process. That's why I've come to the conclusion that I don't think the brain works anything like people think it does. I mean, I have to talk to some neuroscientists because they're going to speak in generalities for the layman terms. You have, for lack of better terms, a web. You know what I mean? And they kind of use that kind of term. And the neurons are firing. Okay, you imagine this, because they're usually talking to stupid. Comparatively to a brain surgeon, the synapses and how all that works, and understanding and being able to, like, not necessarily sever and reconnect, but knowing which parts to remove. Dude, can you imagine the skill? No, I mean, you've got to be some form of genius, because you can wield a scalpel securely within a finger. You know what I mean? And to get exactly this exact tune, you can remove the skull, pop it out, surgery on there, while the person is awake or whatever, remove whatever's bothering them, get it closed, and hope that they just fine from that point on. that takes a level of intelligence I couldn't even imagine. It's like carpentry, physics, science, biology. It's like all the arts combined, man. It's got. I mean, because you think about the human body, every piece of art ever made was made by the human body. Therefore, the human body is the most beautiful piece of art ever because it can create art itself. It can create artificial intelligence. Isn't that interesting? I mean, what is artificial? If it exists, is it really artificial? Artificial means, I mean, fuck, we can look it up. I can't get my tablet. My mom's computer's over here, but um, I know the general definition, but I mean, I'm sure that it's like synthesized. You say it's not natural, but if it exists, everything in nature exists. Just because we don't have it here doesn't mean there's a planet that doesn't rain the chemical naturally. Mescaline is a synthetic peyote. So if you synthesize whatever, you're not, if nothing else, when you learn how to synthesize it, the universe learned how to synthesize it. Right? The best teacher is also a student, which means God would be learning from us. Oh, he knows all kinds of shit, but it's like you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Are you kidding? We're coming along going, you haven't seen this, and like, you're right. Thanks for showing me that. Now let me show you what you can do with that. I've already thought of ways to take it to another level. Everybody asks if there's no round two. If there's no round two. See, that would be the final proof, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be who wins, it's who survives being killed, wouldn't it? Because if God dies, the universe dies too. Because he made it. In order for the universe to exist, he'd have to make himself, which means it's a spiraling out from the center. So if he made the universe, he had to make himself, make the universe, and makes anything else that comes along, and anything else that comes along that tries to destroy that would cause a collapse of the entire system. The entire system would collapse. Therefore, you'd have no system. So if we build up a huge system and someone takes over and they say they're God and it just keeps running, well, that person gets killed and it keeps running, that person's a liar. Trying to stay on the ketamine now. My doctor was talking to me about watching a podcast. She said she was going to give me the podcast information, but what she was talking about, what the lady was talking about, I was like, I would basically be watching my podcast because that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's just like, and she was talking to me, she asked me what I meant. I was like, well, like the last 25 years, ketamine helped me not put it, I said put it in the past, and she's like, that's not good. I'm like, that explains how I woke up today as this guy. That explains my sense of humor. That explains my dour mood. That explains all that shit. Unapologetically, I earned it, and I even looked at her and I said, I earned it. You can't take it from me. Fuck you. You can't. And so, you know, like I looked at her and said, you can't take it from me. You know what I mean? I was like, you can't take it from me. Fuck you. You know, it's mine. This is who I am. Normally I wouldn't say that, especially to a doctor. But I mean, I'm no longer taking shit because it's just language. It's just words. And I cuss so much, man. I fucking cuss so much, and then I have to. I'll watch around kids, but dude, seriously, I grew up around 6 years old. I was watching and understanding George Carlin, Gallagher, the Richard Pryor, all that shit, man. Eddie Murphy. I understood all of it. I got all the jokes and everything. It's just I don't see what the big fucking deal is about trying to censor language, and that's kind of what the went through religion, why they talk about controlling you, because they are somewhat right. To swear is to swear an oath, but to did the message just pop up? Something just popped up. Oh, anyways, no, anyways, I saw something. Anyways, but to say a cuss word like fuck, shit, ass, whatever, those are just words to express how you're feeling. Now, in order to get people to stop saying them, they start labeling them as swear words because thou shalt not swear. You see how you just slide that in? It's a fucking shitty fucking thing to do. It's terrible. It's absolute crap, man. But that's the kind of thing that religion does. Religion, not God. God doesn't do that. God tells you straight up, man. He doesn't bullshit. That's what I love about him. He doesn't bullshit. He doesn't hide. He doesn't have to sneak around. He doesn't have to pretend. He doesn't have to hide in the dark. He doesn't have to trick you. He doesn't have to weave any fucking shit. If he doesn't show himself, it's not a trap. It's not a trick. It's not entrapment. When you're being monitored, you're on your best behavior. When you know there's a benefit for being good, you do good all the time. So you may get a benefit you don't deserve. What do you do when there's nothing? What do you do when there's no one to serve? Whom do you serve? What do you choose? What do you do when you're left to your own devices? That defines you. Just like the last 25 years defines me. It made me who I am. It gave me the ability to think and feel the way that I feel. Let's see how much power we have left. 59. We're gonna go smoke a joint. About that. Because I'm unapologetically gonna be me. Fuck this, man. I don't give a shit. I'll go somewhere where it's not gonna bother anybody, but I mean, fuck, I can't get away from the fucking I'm in the. Yeah, if I had my phone, I'd do it. I guess I could go out on the porch, but I'm not gonna do that because it's my mom's house. I show respect. That's the thing, man. I'm not gonna. You always be a dick about it, but just be you, you know. And that's what I mean. So much shit about who I'm supposed to be. And people don't understand, people don't know, people don't fucking get it. You wouldn't know. I don't expect you to get it. But who I'm supposed to be is not who people think, who I am is not who people think I'm supposed to be. And so they've been trying to make me fit into this suit. Sorry, that suit don't fit me. They just don't. You don't even know my size because you never talk to me to find out who I am. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't recognize me, would you? Whoever I might be. Wherever I might be. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't care. You wouldn't believe. And that's fine. And it's kind of like with the whole ketamine thing, like I said, putting a cap on the last 25 years. The only thing that's hard to put a cap on is that I'm still alone. Like she asked me what I wanted to achieve out of this when I'm done. And I'm like, I mean, I don't really want to achieve anything. I want to be able to handle this world. Because it doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't like it. It's not even the world. The world, all the stuff in the world, water, washing things makes sense. Sun, makes sense. Birds, picking up seed, flying and pooping them out makes sense. Steam rising makes sense. The smoke of industry makes no fucking sense. The smell of fresh blooms makes sense. The cold of the snow makes sense. What the fuck are you doing here makes no sense. You don't belong here makes no sense. You can't have that. You had to walk all the way over here to tell me I can't have this? Uh-huh. Well, someone over there complained. Someone over there, no, why didn't they come over here to tell me I can't have this? Um, yeah, so, I mean, that all was bringing me down. I've put a bow on that, we're done. But now, like I said, the only part of this is just being alone. Sucks. And she was asking, like, what can't you do? And I'm like, I can't go back to being 20 years old and find a good partner, someone who actually loves me, and just get married once, and that be it. And there's no way to do that. So that's what the ketamine's been helping me do is just like, okay, that's not going to happen. Pray for a hereafter and put your treasures in heaven, like the Bible says. I wouldn't want her to be on this in this area, anyways. It would. I mean, this place is terrible. I'd never wanted to have to step foot in this fucking place. This is just so god awful here. So hate filled and so judgmental. So cruel. So callous. Like how many trees had to die just so an apartment complex could go up? When how many Native Americans lived here with no houses like that at all? All right, but they lived in communities of people that cared about each other. Like a bunch of savages. Sure, they fought with each other, but I mean, that never happens amongst towns and cities, and only amongst savages who can't get enough guns to mow everybody down and make you fucking agree in one fucking stupid fucking document that's a fucking lie. That's the problem, is this fucking country has broken my fucking heart so many times in so many ways. And I totally understand why God's gonna have his vengeance on America, the whore, Babylon. I get it. I just hope I get to watch. Even if it's front row seats. Because this place fucking sucks. And I can't think of a race of people. Hopefully it gets all the animals out of here first. That deserve to suffocate on the ash of their own industry more than human beings as a whole. Even the good ones, just choke them the fuck out, because it'd be better just to start over, God. The souls are good, but their bodies are all fucking rotten. The core inside, they want to be good, but they just don't know how. They cannot. Not there's a dollar involved. Not if you're gonna make a buck. None of it's going to stop you from making some cash. Is it going to cost you some money? Sorry, time's money. Time is just time. And some of you don't even want to spend that. That's why you get your jobs. Because you're lazy. You don't want to do the work of tilling the field because that's beneath you. You can eat from the table, but you cannot bring to it. Can you? I don't want to hear shit from farmers because as long as you're farming in the big fucking way you're doing, you're making the rest of us dependent on you. I was born into this. I didn't make this. This is why you guys made this. I'm reflecting your horribleness. That's what I am. I'm your mirror, motherfuckers. This is what you've done to everyone around the world. Hiroshima, Vietnam, Nagasaki. Hitler. Where do you think you got the idea from of genociding people to have a whole new fucking country to use? It worked so well for us. Why wouldn't you think it worked for him? And then you just use some people for slaves, for your labor, right? What's wrong, America? That's how you did it. No one else can do it that way? Gotcha. You sure you're not the bad guy in this story, America? I think you're the bad guy because you've broken my heart so many fucking times since I was 7 years old. I can't fucking count anymore. You've broken the people. They're all sad and they're all on antidepressants. They're all on medications. They're all getting high, trying to get away from you, America, from your rules. And then you ban that because you don't even want them to have even a mental escape from the pain. Unless it's alcohol, because that's going to cause even more pain to more people. When we're going to admit we lost the war on drugs, how long did you have to fight the war on drugs before we admit? It's a game. America wasn't getting their cut. That's all. They convince police officers that they're doing a good job. They stop 1 metric ton. Meanwhile, knowing 9 other tons made it through. Yet they celebrate like they're winning, like they're getting a hold on it. You're never going to get a hold on it because we make the Sacklers. It's not foreigners who bring it. They might be bringing it in. Have you ever heard of laundering money? Yeah, it's one thing for them to go down to your pharmacy and fill a script. That's another thing to go, hey, there's a lot of fentanyl and opiates on the street. And we don't have a lot of traffic at the borders. They're doing this to us. Strung out. The point was to get us strung out where we're dependent enough that we won't talk back. Because in order to get you fixed, what they need a drug that will sedate you after you work. Alcohol, pot. But get you hooked enough that you can't quit working. No matter what. It doesn't matter what. And then they hook you in with a wife and kid. So now you got responsibility. Now you're double hooked to this company because you have to come upon your knees if you want to work for them. Fuck. A resume? You mean to resume slavery? Can I resume slavery with you, please, Massa? Massa, may I please have a slave job where I can make enough to get here next Tuesday? Oh, well, I look for another job that doesn't exist. That actually pay me for the American dream. You're slowly, by burning away the middle class, there is no way to bridge from poor to rich. That way, them and their kids always stay secure. And we always stay down. And if you think Donald Trump wants it any fucking other way, you are the dumbest motherfucker ever lived. He's had all that fucking money all this time, and he's never done one fucking thing ever to help anybody but himself. Ever. When suddenly he fucking got Scrooged at fucking 70 years old. Now he wants to fucking help the... You're stupid. You're dumb beyond measure. You're better off having never been born. I'm being serious. The universe does not need you, and it will fucking suck you up like a vacuum and reprocess that energy. Because you're nothing. You're worthless. No, you're not that you'll judge angels. Yeah, you must not have read your Bible clearly. I judge you. I judge you all as wanting and lacking. You support Donald Trump. You're right for the pick. And I hope he thrusts in the sickle and reaps. You're sick. Your mind is fucked up. You're pathetic. You are such a loser that words don't describe you. Deplorable. It was a kindness on behalf of Hillary Clinton to describe what these fucking flag pant wearing, loud Kid Rock playing, dumb mullet, sink your own boat in a tribute to Trump fucking idiot trying to ride somebody off the road in a fucking peaceful protest, you fucking idiots. You know the Constitution? What about trying to drive someone off the side of the fucking road is a peaceful protest? If you're driving beside them and honking and they threw a hissy fit, yeah, rag on them all day. Oh, you can't be honked at? Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, they were causing a road accident. We were preventing anyone from being able to hit you. You had a clear road ahead, we made sure, and we made a clear road behind. We had police escort, motherfucker. It was peaceful. None of us like you. No, you gotta get your hillbilly friends and get some shotguns and some rakes and go fucking chasing after a bus. You're such pussies, you have to say, let's go, Brandon, instead of fuck Joe Biden. Yeah, you're real alpha males. Seeking shelter under fucking skinny fucking Dr. Phil, Kid Rock, and fat Dr. Phil pretending like he's actually something other than a worthless piece of shit that for some reason Oprah didn't flush. This fucking sack of garbage. This whole place, man, is just built on lie after lie. That's why it won't scale up. That's why it won't continue to go. That's why it doesn't work. It has to work on the smallest level. It has to translate to the middle level, and that has to translate to the highest level. Otherwise, you've got a fucking regime. You don't have a governance. You have a system of manipulation. And so the manipulation has to keep getting tweaked as people start figuring out the micro doesn't match the meso doesn't match the macro, the meso and macro match, but the micro doesn't match, the micro and the meso match, but the macro, you know what I mean? It's when people start figuring out, you start having to fucking make adjustments. Whereas if you were the fucking mayor of your town, when you became governor, it would just be a bigger job. When you became senator, it would just become a bigger job. And when you became if you became president from that, it become or vice president, it would be a bigger job. And then it just keeps scaling up. But when you're saying you're the wrong skin color, well, now your fucking thing doesn't work out, does it? Because now the macro cannot go to the meso even. If it makes it to the meso, I mean, the micro can never get to the meso. If the meso definitely will never get to the macro. Will it? You guys fucking nearly fucking had a diarrhea fit because the last one was half. You guys erupted and attacked the Capitol because a half-black man dared into your White House that was built by slaves. You have the indecency to talk about hard work when everything done in America was stolen or fucking built off someone else's labor. Cheap. There's no hard work in America. Go fuck yourself. It's an illusion you sell yourself so you can sleep well at night. You choose to do that. Your bitch ass should be back in Europe. There. You're not American. European on my parade. You had a country. You couldn't hack it there, could you? So you came here and started hacking skulls. You weren't tired of the fucking, you were tired of it being your asshole. And guess who's tired of it being their asshole? Unlike you, we know how to stop a cycle. We're not going to keep this going. I'm going to end this shit finally, man. It's time. It's time for it to be done. Donald Trump is so close. Actually, it is so close because it doesn't really matter whether Donald Trump or the other one goes. Whichever one goes, it's horrible. As I said with Hillary Clinton and Trump, the only question is, do you want to crash land in the ocean or do you want to crash land into a fucking brick wall? You want to go to brick wall? Go with Trump. You want to crash land in the ocean? And the reason people didn't want to crash land in the ocean, they're like, well, I'm not in first class. First class is going to, no, first class is actually probably going to die. Everyone in this has about an equal shot. Now, by saying that, understand that some people are going to die in the car crash, in the plane crash. They are. It would die in the, and so what a lot of Trump people did say, well, if I can't make it, no one can. Like, but you might. And they said, fuck that. There's a chance I might die and you might live. And pulled it straight into the fucking cliff. It's the way it always goes. It's the way God wrote it down because that's the way he remembers seeing it. It's the way that's happening right now. This isn't a question. This isn't a test. This is final round. These are the answers, okay? I don't care what you think. I don't care what you believe. I don't. It doesn't matter what you think or what you believe. If there's an asteroid headed to hit us tomorrow, does it matter that you believe it? If Yellowstone is to go off tonight, midnight, is it up to you whether you believe it or not? Or we wake going, I don't fucking believe it. Because, I mean, that would be a night that shines the day. And that would be a day that shines the night because the other side would get fucking polluted with fucking clouds. The cloud became like sackcloth. When things happen the way they're happening and where they're gonna happen, you'll realize there's more important things than your stupid little fucking politics. That while you're studying the Constitution, the real document you should have been studying was the Torah. I wish I spoke Hebrew. I understand. I get the concept, but I want to hear the words as they are meant to be. The true definition. Because the further you go back, it's got more kick, doesn't it? Like right now, if you get a New English translation of the Bible, that shit is soft as fuck. Oh, basically all the vengeance and anger has just been sucked right out of it to make it like, well, I mean, there is judgment, but everybody's less fearful. Motherfucker, the fear of the Lord endureth forever is what the book says. So that's what I'm going to do because I know what he's capable of. I have seen hell. And no, it's not other people. It is a place you can go. I mean, there's not much time left anyway, so what difference does it make? I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to smoke a joint. That's what I know. And then I'm going to be, yeah, I'm heading home for too long. My mom will be back from the dentist, and I'm going to go and head home, and I'll smoke some hash and maybe do another broadcast. I don't know. Yeah, this can go in a short one. Later.